Right friends, welcome back to Know About Insurance. This is the second module, and in the first module we discussed briefly about what is meant by insurance and why it is required, and at the same time we discussed about the history of life insurance in our country, and we are going to discuss about the history of general insurance and various general insurance companies and the evolution of IRDAI in our country. These things we are going to discuss in this module. And previously in the first module we discussed about history of life insurance, and now let us look at history of general insurance. If you look at the general insurance, the first general insurance company was the Triton Insurance Company Limited, which was established by British. And if you look at 1907, that is the Indian Mercantile Insurance Limited was the first company to transact all classes of general insurance business. So, to transact all classes of general insurance business, the Indian Mercantile Insurance Limited was established in 1907, but please don't forget, prior to that in the year 1850, the Triton Insurance Company Limited, the first general insurance company, was established by British. Then come to 1972, and we have already discussed about 1956. 1956 was the watershed development in the history of life insurance, when 245 companies were amalgamated into Life Insurance Corporation of India, but come to 1972, General Insurance Business Nationalization Act was brought by Government of India. 1972 General Insurance Business Nationalization Act was brought. 107 insurers were amalgamated, and which led to the birth of General Insurance Corporation on 22nd November 1972. And the primary role of General Insurance Corporation is superintending, controlling and carrying the business of general insurance in the country. And as I have already told you, 107 insurance companies amalgamated and they became 4 group companies and subsidiaries of General Insurance Corporation from 1st January 1973. So, 4 subsidiaries were formed under General Insurance Corporation on 1st January 1973. So, 1972 gave the birth of General Insurance Corporation, and under it the amalgamation of these 107 insurance companies became 4 group companies and subsidiaries from 1st January 1973, right. So, if you look at the group companies which became subsidiaries from 1st January 1973, one is the National Insurance. National Insurance is headquartered in Calcutta. Then second one is the New India Insurance, headquartered in Mumbai. Third one is the Oriental Insurance, headquartered in Delhi, and United India Insurance, headquartered in Chennai. And after 2000, some other changes took place. We will discuss about them subsequently, but let us go back to 1973, and if you look at the 4 subsidiaries in detail, please don't forget, these are no more subsidiaries of GIC. The composition changed subsequent to 2000s. We are going to discuss in little more detail later on, but let us now discuss the 4 subsidiaries of 1970s. That means these 4 companies formed on 1st January 1973. One is the National Insurance Company, which was incorporated in Calcutta on 5th December 1906. And it is the oldest general insurance company which was formed in 1906. And if someone asks what is the oldest general insurance company in operation now, that is the National Insurance Company, headquartered in Kolkata, and it has got its presence in Nepal. And as the company claims, it is India's second largest general insurance company, and the company claims that it has got the maximum share in motor insurance. And 2 things are very important. This National Insurance is the oldest general insurance company, incorporated on 5th December 1906. Second important point is its headquarters are in Kolkata, right. So, look at the next subsidiary, that is the New India Assurance Company Limited, and this is the market leader in India's non-life business for the past 40 years, and this the New India Assurance Company Limited is headquartered in Mumbai, and it was started by Dorabji Tata in 1919, headquartered in Mumbai, and the largest non-life insurance company, or you can say the largest general insurance company in the country, is the New India Assurance Company Limited, headquartered in Mumbai, and its London branch is in operation for more than 95 years, and it has got subsidiaries in several countries, and it is being operated at present in 28 countries. So these things are very important if you look at the New India Assurance Company Limited. And if you look at the third one, the Oriental Insurance Company Limited, it was incorporated in Bombay on 12th September 1947 after independence. And one important point, please don't forget, out of the 4 insurance companies, general insurance companies, which are owned by Government of India, this one, that is Oriental Insurance Company Limited, was incorporated after independence. The remaining 3 were prior to independence. The National Insurance Company in 1906, New India Assurance Company in 1919, started by Dorabji Tata, and the third one is United India Insurance Company, which is headquartered in Chennai, was incorporated in 1938. So these 3 prior to independence. But if you look at this Oriental Insurance Company, it was incorporated after independence. So if someone asks which is the general insurance company which was incorporated after independence, that is the Oriental Insurance Company, and the oldest is National Insurance, largest is New India Assurance. These things please don't forget, and we are talking about the Oriental Insurance Company. It was incorporated in Mumbai on 12th September 1947 as fully owned subsidiary of Oriental Government Security Life Assurance Company Limited, and it was a subsidiary of Life Insurance Corporation from 1956 to 1973. And someone may ask, which of the following was a subsidiary of LIC of India from 1956 to 1973? Because from 1956 onwards, general insurance business was in private sector, government not nationalized. Government nationalized life insurance business in 1956 and general insurance in 1972, and in between this Oriental Insurance Company Limited was a subsidiary of LIC of India, and it became as usual the subsidiary of GIC from 1st January 1973, and headquarters is in New Delhi and operations are in Nepal, Kuwait and Dubai. If you look at the last one, United India Insurance Company Limited, it was incorporated as a company on 18th February 1938, and subsequent to its nationalization, as usual, it became the subsidiary of GIC in 1973, and it is one of the 4 subsidiaries formed on 1st January 1973, and headquarters is in Chennai. And please don't forget, from 2003 onwards, these 4 companies, these 4 subsidiaries are fully owned by Government of India. They were delinked from General Insurance Corporation, right? So if you look at the developments since 1990, as I have already told you, P.V. Narasimha Rao became the Prime Minister in 1991, Manmohan Singh became the Finance Minister in 1991, and subsequently liberalization started as a part of financial reforms, banking sector, private sector doors were opened, and ICICI Bank, HDFC were formed subsequent to the financial reforms of 1990s. Similarly, this insurance sector was also opened for private sector again. Initially it was in private sector. Up to 1956, life insurance was in private sector. Up to 1972, general insurance was in private sector, and these 2 were nationalized in 1956 and 1972, and subsequently in 1990s again it was thought of privatization. So the issue came full circle again. And in 1993, as part of financial sector reforms, committee was appointed headed by former RBI Governor R.N. Malhotra, and it gave recommendations in 1994. And the important recommendations of this R.N. Malhotra committee were, the first and the foremost is establish Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. Second is, please allow private sector participation in insurance. Third one is, please allow foreign companies by floating joint venture with Indian companies in insurance sector. So, these three recommendations were made by R.N. Malhotra committee, and based on the recommendations, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority Act was brought in 1999. Insurance Regulatory Development Authority Act was brought in 1999 and it came into force on 19th April 2000. Based on this act, IRDAI was established as regulator. First and the foremost is, IRDAI was formed as the regulator for insurance business. Second important point is, amendments to LIC Act of 1956 were made. Based on the amendments, exclusive privilege of life insurance business by LIC has gone. Life insurance business is now open to private sector. Second important point is, amendments to General Insurance Business Nationalization Act of 1972 were brought. With these amendments, exclusive privilege of general insurance of GIC and its 4 subsidiaries has gone. Now it is open for private sector participation, and several amendments were brought for Insurance Act of 1938, and as I have already told you, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority was brought to act as regulator. So, this Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act is the landmark development of 1999, which came into force on 19 April 2000. Based on this act, 3 changes occurred. One is IRDAI was established to act as regulator for insurance sector. Second is, amendments to LIC Act brought private sector into life insurance. Then third point is, amendments to General Insurance Business Nationalization Act of 1972 brought the private sector into general insurance, right? And so subsequently what happened? This GIC became a reinsurance company. GIC became GIC RE. RE means reinsurance. What is meant by reinsurance? The risk of these insurance companies will be transferred to reinsurance company. Part of the risk of these insurance companies will be transferred to reinsurance. So, GIC RE is the only reinsurance company in the country, and the risk of these companies partly will be transferred to these reinsurance companies. And GIC RE is the only reinsurance company in the country, and as GIC became GIC RE, through an amendment in 2002, this 4 subsidiaries of GIC were delinked from GIC, and these 4 subsidiaries, whatever we have discussed now, are all owned by Government of India since 2003. So, these 4 insurance companies, whatever we have discussed, like United India Insurance, Oriental Insurance Company, New India Insurance Company and National Insurance Company, these 4 are now owned by Government of India, and now GIC is nothing to do with this 4 subsidiaries since 2003. And if you look at the IRDAI, as I have already told you, based on R.N. Malhotra committee recommendations, this IRDAI was brought, and accordingly IRDAI was established, and here the headquarters is in Hyderabad. It has got offices in Delhi and Mumbai, and IRDAI will have a chairperson, not more than 5 full-time members and not more than 4 part-time members, and the tenure of IRDAI chairperson is 5 years and the maximum age limit is 65 years. What is the mission of IRDAI? The mission of IRDAI is to protect the interests of the policyholders, to regulate, promote and ensure orderly growth of the insurance industry, and as per the IRDAI website, as on date, there are 29 general insurance companies, 24 life insurance companies, and only one reinsurance company, that is GIC Reinsurance. Right friends, with this let us conclude second module. Please do join for third module, right? Have a nice day. Thank you.